We don't serve Jesus out of rules. Paul says the love of Christ compels me. Because he loves me like no other, I will love him. Because he loves me on my worst day, I will be loyal to him. You understand that? This is who God is. He came down. And so Jesus is in this temple and he's in the court and he's having these debates and the Pharisees are throwing all this stuff at him. A woman in adultery. Their questions mainly revolve around two things. Who do you think you are? As their first question. And then the second question was, what is the source of your power? What is the source of your power? And so Jesus begins to distinguish himself from them in the last chapter. And he says, I am of my Father. And he said, well, you are of your father, the devil. Which is an interesting thing. Because you see, in Jesus' economy, there aren't many paths. There aren't many worlds. You're either in the Father through the Son, or you are of the devil. It's cut and dry. There's no middle ground with Jesus. We think, well, I'm over here, and we all kind of serve the same God. No, we don't. Jesus said it out of himself. They're saying, we're sons of Abraham. He said, if you were sons of Abraham, you would believe in me. And they said, we're sons of God. He said, you're not sons of God. You're not begotten of the Father. That's what he tells them. You're sons of your father, the devil. Straight up. There's no black and white. We're either in the kingdom or we're under the devil. You don't have to worship the devil to be under the power and the influence of the devil. You understand that? Yes. He tells them who the Son sets free is free indeed. They say, we've never been prisoners. How many knows there's chains you can't see? You understand that? They don't have to be physical chains. There's plenty of bondages that exist without having you ever seeing them. You don't have to worship. You can worship Oscar Mayer Baloney. He doesn't care. You can build an altar to Cadillac. You can build an altar to the Miami Dolphins. You can build an altar to yourself. You can build an altar to your degrees, all of your human achievements. See, in America, we don't worship idols. We worship self. The problem, and what I tell people all the time, he's far more than an intern to me, but one of the guys who works with me is Alex. He comes from India. It's like, you want a God? Pick one. I mean, and if there's no gods there that are good for you, you can make one up and start a new religion in India. Nobody cares. You can be the Swami of the tree if you want to be. You can start a brand new religion. Nobody cares. And I told them, I said, you guys worship a plurality of gods. America's worse. Because actually what we're doing is we're manifesting more towards the satanic than they are. Because the satanic was the worship of self. That is the sin of the garden. And so America may not have idols on every corner, but we're more idolatrous towards the self than the people overseas, than India is. It's just the truth. We worship the self. We worship the intellect. We are intellectual idolaters. That's what America is. We worship the rational. If it doesn't make rational sense, we deny it, and we think we have the authority to do so. Well, I don't believe there is a God. Well, who gave you that power? Right? Who anointed you with that power to declare whether God exists or not? Well, I think God is this, or I think God is that. You don't have that power. That's actually the sin of the garden. You're proclaiming yourself to be God. It's not God as you understand him to be. It's who he declares himself to be. It's the idea of surrendering your life to Jesus. Jesus is God. You are not. Kingdom rule 1, you know nothing. You know nothing. That offends you? I don't make any apologies. Jesus said you must come as a child. What do children know? Not much. Not much. What's that baby know? Not much. That baby knows who his mommy is, or her mom. It's a girl, boy, right? Boy, who his mommy is, knows who his daddy is. That's about all that baby knows. Maybe Jima, maybe he knows Grammy, That baby doesn't know calculus. That baby doesn't know how to drive a car. But he knows the love of his mother, knows the love of his father. We must become as a child. When we become as a child and we know nothing and we begin to follow him, then we know everything. Then the universe is ours. The capacity is ours. When you have to set aside your intellect, you have to set aside your understanding, what you think, what you believe, all this other stuff, you know nothing. You know nothing.